welcome. Come on in. Come on in. I'm not ready yet, though. I'm not ready. So I was supposed to do my hair before you got here. Give me just 1 second. I just need to finish blow drying. Wait, y'all don't need to be here. I'm back. Okay, so I brought brushes, SPF. These are the things that we're gonna need to start everything out today. We're doing a very quick makeup. Today is not as much about the makeup as it is about the experience. So I'm really excited to tell you. Oh, wait, before we keep going, this is Eltamd. If you are not already using this SPF, I love it. It's amazing. Dermatologist tested, great for sensitive skin. I have sensitive skin. Okay, so today what we're doing is really talking to an amazing business, one based here in Harlem. I live in Harlem, and I'm just really excited to show you like my neighborhood. And also, if you're visiting, if you ever visit New York, or if you live in New York, I definitely think you should check out the Edge. So, okay, let's do a little bit of makeup. This part is gonna go really, really fast. So Bobbi Brown's Skin Longwear Foundation is one of my favorites. This is one of those makeup applications where it's really like we're going to meet up with friends. We just want it to feel really classic and very clean. So you're gonna see me do things like use my hands today, keep it very clean and very simple. The SPF that I used has a little bit of a white cast on it, which is okay because it's covered very quickly and easily with a little bit of foundation. Also, I love how Skin Longwear photographs. It's so beautiful. Whether you're using it for like an editorial, red carpet, you're going out to see your friends, it's just super beautiful. Okay, done with foundation. All right. Next up, we're gonna use a little bit of bronzer. This is from Bobbi Brown as well. This is in the color Deep. It's this really like pretty reddish brown moment. You can see I'm just literally using, I love this because I feel like I always am doing something super intense and complicated, but today you're gonna see how I do makeup when I meet up with my friends to just hang out. All right, so now let's use a little bit of concealer because concealer is our friend. This is from Wander Beauty. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of this underneath the eye. I have a lot of natural creasing underneath my eye, so I try not to use too much product, especially if I'm gonna be hanging out with friends, I'm gonna be talking, I'm gonna be laughing, there's gonna be expressions. This area is gonna move underneath my eye, so I don't want a lot happening under there. So I'm just gonna take this stick and just pat. And this actually has two sides, so I'm gonna use the other side. This is actually the side that you should use underneath your eye. But I need a little bit more coverage, so I use both. I'm just smoothing this out with my finger, super easy. We're gonna do brows, a little lip, some mascara, and we're gonna be done. Underneath the eye and around the nose. This like automatically makes everything look a little bit more flat. So if you have any dips underneath your eye or like anything like right around the side of the nose, it really helps to like lift the eye and lift the face. So I always make sure I put powder in the center, even if I don't put it all over the face. Okay. We're almost here, people. Can you tell we're in a rush? Okay, so a little bit of Estée Lauder's Sumptuous Rebel. Okay, they sent this to me and I didn't know how much I was gonna love this. First of all, check out this brush, right? Like, it's so little. It has a lot of product on it right now, so I don't know if you can really get into it, but it's so tiny and it really gets into the lashes. Like, you can get every lash you own naturally to stand out with this mascara. Boom. All right, so let's do this, people. I'm gonna put a little bit of brow product through the brow. This is by Urban Decay. I've lately been getting into these brow pens. I used to just stay away from them because I felt like they couldn't really catch. But a trick that I noticed with this is if you put a little bit of powder on your skin and over the brow before you start using them, they actually show up very well. So I think the issue was that I was using too much moisturizer on my eyebrows, so it didn't work. But now that I figured it out, it does work. The other side of this pen has a brow like pen moment, or like a brow, it's like your traditional brow pencil. So it's like waxy, so you can use this in addition to the brow pen, which I kind of like. because it doesn't make me give up my traditional method. Okay. Lastly, what else do we need? Blush. We need blush. We need a lip. Okay. This is by LYS, which is a really cool company. It's a Black-owned company. They're based in Sephora. I think they were one of the first to ever get into Sephora. A Black-owned clean beauty brand to be in Sephora. That's kind of exciting. Maybe I did too much. It's okay. Okay. This we're going to put on the eye. This is by Ilia. It's called Umber. It's like one of those like nice glossy eye moments. It's just a little something and it's easy. So I'm just gonna put this on. Finished with the eye. The makeup looks really good. We are gonna do the lip when we get there. Okay, let's go. Hey! How are you? Good.
How are you? Friend.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I didn't put on my lip yet, so I'm about to put it on right now.
Go off.
Okay. So how are you?
I'm good, girl.
Good. I'm excited about this.
Me too.
I'm really excited about this because I feel like, I mean, we both have we come here together before?
I don't know if we've come here together. I've been here for happy hour, and I've done a solo brunch here.
Yeah.
At the bar.
I'm gonna use my phone because that's like, you know, that's our fake
real.
mirror. Yeah. Okay.
I met the most amazing women. I was solo, and it was two sisters together.
Yeah.
And we were just talking, and you know, I love the energy. I love the food.
Isn't it good?
Yeah.
Especially that coconut fish burger.
Okay.
Both of us have been talking about that.
You know what else I do? Because you
What?
know St. Nicholas Park isn't that far.
Where?
I will like walk to the park and place an order ahead and take it with me and eat in the park.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's do that today. I'm just kidding.
Seriously, right? We're totally both dressed for the park. Let's absolutely do that.
I am putting on my lip. Wow. I love Harlem.
Same.
I really do.
Especially this like little stretch.
Right?
It's quiet. It's jumping. This little corner here where the men be like outside playing dominoes and things. It's adorable.
Right here?
Yes. I feel like it's like a social club or something. I don't know what it is exactly, but they'll just like post up in the street, and then when you walk by and peek in, they're literally in there. Like, you walk by and peek in. Hello. Say got you.
Hello.
They're in there playing. It's super cute.
I love that.
I love this mix.
Do you?
Come on, cocktail.
Girl, sometimes it's just a pink and a brown together.
I love. But
you know,
just
a little glamour. Like this is like I think this is a Black-owned brand. Okay. Glamatory.
I've never heard.
You know what's the thing is I feel like, you know, when I started doing like influencing stuff, I feel like the first brands you want to work with are like the brands you recognize.
Yep.
And then like, you know, all these indie brands start to hit you up, and then you're like, oh, I didn't even know you had something like this, or you had something like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like I've discovered so many, like this one, Cami, this is also like a Black-owned indie one.
But not this one, and the color is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's pretty, right?
Yeah.
Glamatory. Okay, so I'm done. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good, girl.
Okay, let's go inside. Excited to be doing this with you.
Same.
This is like, I feel like we're always talking about how people are creating successful businesses, how they do it in a way where it's just like, it's exciting, and then also we love a good vibe, right? And I feel like when we come here, this place has a really good vibe. We have actually not been here together.
I know how.
I know.
We've been here individually.
Yeah, because we talked about menu items we like. So I'm not sure why, but we just, being able to talk with you and with the owners at the same time is just dream come true.
I'm excited about it.
Me too. So yeah, I'm excited to have them come over here.
Hi.
How are you?
How are
Justine.
you?
Delina.
Nice to meet you.
Danielle.
Hi, Danielle. Justine.
Nice to meet you,
Pleasure.
Delina. Thank
Hey.
you so much for having us.
Absolutely.
We're so excited to be here.
Super excited to be here. Delina and I have been talking about all of the dishes we love. And there's this nugget of information that I read about you guys, and I just love it so much. I see we have links and views back here at the bar.
Yes, we
I know
do.
that there's some history. Could you share that with us?
Absolutely. So when Juliet and I were considering taking this space, we did a little research on the building, and we found out that 580 St. Nicholas, which is the front side of the building, actually has a lot of history with the Renaissance. There was a librarian that lived in the building. She had an apartment and her name was Regina Anderson.
Okay.
And it was in the 20s, and she used to work at the Schomburg on 135th. And so her apartment became the spot for all of the creatives and the literary, creatives in Harlem. And so they used to hang out on the roof of the building. They used to call her apartment the 580. So Langston, County Cullen, Dubois,
That is so cool.
When we found that out, we were like, oh, it gave us goosebumps because we were like, wow. So, there was the spirit of gathering and food and drink and exchange of ideas already in place in this building. So
I love that. Powerful. We can still feel it.
yeah, we're continuing it. We like to feel that way.
So when you say the spot, like people used to just go over there and like hang out, create.
So there's 100 apartments in this building above us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they would be in the, I don't know what was in this area, and this might have just been the basement alone. This is actually the basement of the building that this restaurant is in.
Okay.
So you step down into it, so it has sort of a cozy, intimate vibe already as you step into the den, sort of, so to speak. So,
Yeah.
It is such a vibe. We were talking about that. Like, how did you decide how you were gonna, like, I don't know if decorate is the right word. How did you decide the vibe
Oh,
of
it
this
was
place?
very organic. It was very organic because in the beginning we were working on a shoestring budget. We didn't know how we were going to make it open. So there was no like picking things out in the store. It was like we had a friend who was renovating a Harlem brownstone, so he gave us like those pieces of wood. He gave us a piece of this is called the Napoleon Eye that comes from one of the brownstones, and we used it in here. The bar is made of repurposed wood from the brownstone, and that was given to us. So we were like, "This is great wood. What can we do?" So we built the bar. Those sort of things.
Right.
That was how it worked the whole way through.
And then a friend of our parents gifted us Langston, right around the time we were building the spot, and we were like, "Oh, this is perfect." It was really,
a lot of things sort of fell into place.
Yeah.
I mean, when we thought, "Oh, this is never going to work," something would happen, and it would just give us that little boost to keep going. Opening a restaurant is very challenging, and then keeping it open is additionally challenging.
Right.
We were up for the challenge. We're still here.
The food is amazing.
Right.
It's so good. Yeah. How did you decide? Because it seems like you could have gone in any direction with, what type of food you. What was the inspiration?
Well, the food is that's sort of my area of expertise. I come from a background of catering and basically hospitality my whole life, and I just transitioned slowly from catering into private events and boutique catering, I called it. I cooked for people in their homes. I cooked for privately for people, and then when this opportunity arrived for this restaurant, I figured that this is a residential area and there's nowhere nearby for anywhere to eat. Just regular, normal comfort food. And our cultural background is England, Jamaica, and New York. And so that just made perfect sense. All of that food is something good in every one of those cultures. And so we combined those three and made our menu out of those three places. And we take a little creative license, but the food is a collaborative effort. We have a chef de goa here who, gets it all out to you. I mean, you would not believe how much goes into getting everything out every day. There's so much prep work involved. So, it's a collaborative effort, but the menu was designed by me. And
our parents, my father's Jamaican and my mother's British. And Juliet and I grew up both in New York and in Jamaica. So we were influenced by our time in Jamaica. And obviously we're from New York and my mother cooked as well. So it's like a combination of all of those things. Yeah.
That's awesome. So you guys are talking about the family involvement, and you are also family.
Yes.
So what is that like, creating a business, working with your sister? Tell us more about that.
We just came back from a vacation. We took a vacation for the first time in 2 years since this pandemic slapped us all down. And it was really nice because, Juliet and I we're best friends, and we work very well together. She has her lane, I have my lane in this business. But we went on vacation because we're like, we want to remember what it's like to have fun together and just relax. Because, we're just always working hard together, making decisions and getting things done. So we have a good way of balancing our work life and then our sisterhood. Like that is key, right? Sometimes, we're always working together, but we make a point to go to dinner or do something fun so that we can keep a balance with each other.
I mean, and it's also very important that we each have our strengths that we, play off of. We don't ask the other to do something that they're not necessarily as good at. So, Justine has got her strengths, and I've got mine, and we just stay that way, and that keeps it from being anything dramatic.
Yes.
We have implicit trust in each other, and
Yes.
I think if you're going to have a business and be an entrepreneur and open a business with a partner, if you have a good relationship with that family member, then that's a good partner to have. I know there are some horror stories, but we are not that hard.
Yeah, people always ask us
very
that
shocked.
question.
Yeah.
They're like, how are you guys working together? Because they have, this love-hate relationship with their sibling. But, it's just one of those cases where we've just been close our whole life. So,
I could tell just based on the conversation around your parents and how the menu comes to life and all of that.
Yeah.
And also, frankly, the conversation around gathering. I have to share a personal anecdote really quickly. I come here frequently alone because I don't live that far.
Okay.
And there aren't many places where you can necessarily come somewhere solo and end up with, two good girlfriends that you met.
Yes.
And so I think that the energy that you all created is, it's apparent.
Yeah.
I'm being serious. I pulled up for brunch and I sat at that bar and there were sisters, two sisters there, and their plans had been canceled. And so they came to brunch and they were chatting and I was reading and they asked me what I was reading and we exchanged book recommendations and it was like we were all together.
Nice.
And so I'm saying that to say that what you mentioned about the energy, I didn't sense that it was a difficult partnership.
Right.
Because the energy you all created, really creates that energy for all of your patrons.
Right.
And I am a witness.
Yes.
I left with two good girlfriends.
Oh,
I
good.
didn't know when I arrived.
Good. That's nice to hear.
It's apparent that it's a trickle down, and then that running a business.
Absolutely.
Definitely,
comes into play.
Else.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Whether they work here or whether they gather here.
Yes.
Yeah. For sure.
Agreed. Yeah.
So talking about like figuring out strengths, because that was when you said I have strengths, she has strengths, we don't cross on that.
Mhm.
How did you figure that out? Like, how did you know? Right. I love your face right now.
I know, it's so expressive.
Because I'm like, I know the answer to this one. I get, honestly, the Edge was Juliet's brainchild, and I actually always wanted to work with my sister in a business. And when she was, about to sign the lease, I was very hesitant because I was worried about my freedom. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not sure if I can do this.
Right.
So Juliet forged ahead, in the back of my mind, I was like, Juliet, I'll help you. But so she forged ahead and she started construction in here and really took charge of this whole vision. And then I came along behind her when I worked through my fears. And as a result of that, she commands her own space inside of here. And so she's like the big boss and I'm the little boss. Juliet takes care of the operations and I do things like design and front of the house and website and social media. I mean, it crosses over all the time, but Juliet kind of created her role in here, and then I came in behind her and picked up where I knew that I would play the best part. So that's how that balance happened from the very beginning.
And if we were to make it a little more granular, it would be more that Justine is more of the front of the house and I am more of the back of the house.
Right.
And that just comes from my experience working both front and back and preferring the back of the house and not as much interaction with angry customers, etc. Justine has a better, disposition with the one or two that we do get.
Sometimes.
But I do like to chat too, so I will come out and that's how we ended up splitting the roles.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Because it's also just thinking about intuitively what you're good at and what doesn't feel like a strain on who you are naturally as a person.
Right.
Which is really good.
But you have to get pushed out of your comfort zone, especially in the service industry. We've both been pushed out of our comfort zone. And I feel like when you have your own business that it is a natural result, of being an entrepreneur is that you get stretched. You don't get to just stay in the pockets where it's nice and warm and fuzzy. You get to be in all those uncomfortable spaces and it forces you to grow. So it's great in the end, but it's uncomfortable in the moment, right?
When you say uncomfortable, do you mean you have to do a little bit more of what she normally does and she has to do a little bit more of what you normally do?
Right, we cross over.
Okay.
Or, or just learning to do something. In order to keep the restaurant going, you do whatever you have to do, right? Like, so sometimes, you know, in the beginning, we had to do dishes. We had to do whatever it was to get it done, you know, and maybe those spaces weren't ones that we were experts in, but we figured it out. Juliet figured out, like, you know, she knows what 1/4-inch pipes are in the floor for the plumber, and that wasn't her forte, but she figured it out. That was uncomfortable, but she figured it out, right?
Dealing with contractors, and as a woman dealing with all these men out there that you have to work with, even men in the kitchen, you know, there's a lot of high learning curve when you are an entrepreneur and opening something like a restaurant, which has so many moving parts.
And when you're a woman of color.
For sure.
Yeah, so many touch points. I'm just thinking of all the things that you probably have to check off before you open the door. Which, you know, kind of leads into the next question. You mentioned that you guys did a vacation.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so glad to hear it.
Yes, we went home to Jamaica.
Rest is restorative, and I'm a little jealous hearing you say you went home to Jamaica. But I know that business owners get this question a lot, and so I want to rephrase it because I do think it's important. Let's talk about balance outside of the restaurant. So we know you have a good balancing act when it comes to running the business, and you guys get in where you fit in and do what's required. Do you think that a work-life balance exists, right? Especially in an industry like, you know, food and service and all of the nuances and the moving parts.
Right.
Do you think it exists? And if so, how are you getting that seesaw to be as level as possible in your personal lives?
I would like to say that it does exist. I don't know if we have figured out how to make it exist for us. I think when you first start a business, you do everything. So therefore, you know, unless you have a lot of money to start your business, you have to do everything. You have to do everything. So bringing in somebody else to start doing those things, you have to pay them, you have to trust them, so on and so forth. So that would create more of a balance for us. So we are figuring out how to do that now. I mean, I would say an advice to an entrepreneur who's starting out is to sort of have that idea in mind to start, because it is important, because you can't keep going at the rate that you did in the beginning. Eventually you feel burnt out, you feel, you know, resentful. So it's, you know, you definitely want to create a balance. I don't know that we've entirely figured it out other than this last 2 weeks, which was great, but how do we do that more often, not just once a year? How do we take Saturday and Sunday off? Because we're here every Saturday and Sunday. I'd like to go to brunch myself. So it's like, how do you figure? So those things you don't know until you're actually in it. So this business is particularly hard to find a work-life balance.
And then you add in the pandemic,
and then you throw in,
and that just turned everything upside down. Really.
Well, we are. I can't say we're on the other side, because who knows, but we're in a different place. Right. And so there's a little bit of positivity there. I do want to know, the restaurant is bustling. There are bodies at every table. They're enjoying food. What does that feel like when you step to the corner and see us existing in this dream that you all have created?
We feel very proud, and I mean, it's a testament to a successful venture that we endeavored to, you know, try. And so when you see people sitting and enjoying, and especially when somebody actually shares that positive impact with you, it's really a beautiful thing. It's really beautiful. And I sometimes we'll look at Justine when it's crowded in here on Sunday, and I'm like, wow, people will wait an hour.
We will.
And it feels very good. I mean, I don't know another way to say it other than it feels very good. It feels like you did what you set out to do.
Yeah, it feels like a major accomplishment, definitely.
And it is. Enjoy it. And everybody else does too.
Okay, I'm ready to get into this food.
Yes. Yes, let's go. Let's go.
We have a lot of favorites.
Yes.
Goes hard.
I know. I was like, ooh, what are your like top three? This was a hard decision.
This was a hard, and I don't know if these were our top three, but this is definitely on the top 5.
I love that. Okay.
We only have to choose. So this is our kale salad, topped with jerk chicken. And then we have the fish and chips, but it's coconut battered fish and chips, which gives it that sort of Jamaica and England fusion. And then these are the codfish fritters, which are a typical Jamaican appetizer. I mean, I don't know if they have them as appetizers, but we serve them as appetizers. And they're just codfish fritters with our jerk lime dip, which is one of the most popular dips we have here. People ask for jars of this.
Do you sell it separate?
No, I don't. We did over the Christmas holidays. We made jars, ball jars, and sold them so people could give them as gifts. We also, I'm going to bring you some sorrel, which is what my father makes. And that's a house-made drink that we serve here, and it's made from the hibiscus leaves. It's a traditional Jamaican holiday drink served over the Christmas time. You'll see because of the color, and usually they put rum in it, but we serve it alcohol-free, and it flies off the shelf. I would say the coconut fish is number one, but it's the fish, we transformed it into a coconut fish burger that we serve with mixed greens and plantains. We serve it with the French fries. We also serve it with grits. And yeah, those three things. Oh, and we also, over the pandemic, we started serving it in tacos. So we have coconut fish tacos, we have fish and chips, fish and grits, and the fish burger. And all are really, really good versions of the fish and chips, rather.
I just love, like, I've never had coconut battered fish.
Yes, well, it's like a play on the sweet and salty.
It's so good.
So it works for 99% of people. Some people don't like the sweet, but 99% of people can't believe they've never had a fish like this.
That's what I thought. Yeah. I was like,
wow, this is so good. Yes, so good. And then we paired it with grits because everyone loves our grits, and it's delicious with the grits. And we're like, well, we might as well make a burger with it and serve that with the plantains. Justine's got the sorrels for you.
Thank you.
So you can see
So
the deep
exciting.
color
Yes.
of red. This is made lovingly by our father, who delivers it to us every week.
He makes it himself?
Yes.
That is amazing.
Yes.
This is really a family business.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. This is his
How
job.
special is that?
It
I
is.
love that.
It is
And I'm sure
very-
he's committed.
He
and you're
is.
grateful.
This
Yeah.
is his artisanal sorrel, as he likes to say.
I love that.
You know, can't be found anywhere else.
So, okay, so people can, if they wanted to, they could mix this with
Yes, we
some
do
type of
serve a
alcohol.
spiked sorrel, so we will
Ooh.
spike it for you with our wine-based rum or wine-based vodka.
Nice.
Yeah.
Amazing. So exciting. Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
Yeah. This is so good. Right?
It's literally delicious.
It's like spicy, but it's also, I don't know.
They said it. They said Dad makes artisanal swirl, and they're correct.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like a little bit of spice, but it's got the fruitiness.
Yeah, it's really nice.
So it's really delicious.
I'm
Okay.
sure it's delicious with rum.
Are you excited to try some things?
Yes, please.
Low key, I feel like we need little plates or something. We need little plates.
Eventually.
Right?
For the right now,
Right. We're gonna go ahead and do this. Okay, what are you gonna do? Fry?
get fried.
Okay, I'm gonna do this. This is, she said a fritter, right?
No double dips.
Right. No.
Not a double dip.
Exactly. Solid.
Yes.
Delicious.
Yes, please.
Wow. It's like everything has, you know, multiple flavors. There's levels.
It's very much giving. It's
very-
I prepared for you today, Chef, is codfish fritters, and I'm like, that's good.
That's it. You did it.
That's it right now. Like a little. You did that.
This is really good. It's also like, I didn't even try the dip yet.
And it's delicious though.
Let me try a little bit of dip. Hold on. Take a little bit. We're just gonna put a little on top. Okay.
It's also an appetizer, but it feels substantial. Isn't it nice? Is it like lime jerk?
Yeah, I don't even remember. I actually don't even remember. You know when somebody puts something down and you're like, I don't even remember, girl. But it's good.
Wow.
Yeah, solid.
There's also some spice.
Doesn't it just like get you excited also about like in terms of like owning a business? And it's like you see like the excitement of it, but then they also have this like realness where they're like, just so you know, it's a lot of work, right? Like they didn't hold that back.
Yeah.
Which I appreciated. Yeah. Exactly, because it's like sometimes I think people just get excited about the novelty idea of, and it's like, you and I both know, right? We've both been freelance makeup artists, so we know what's up.
Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not.
But imagine owning a restaurant where you have to deal with like not only like your stuff, overhead people, opinions, reviews, Yelp.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Because, you know, when the work that we do, we're responsible for ourselves, right? So you know this month I'm gonna go ham, right? Because maybe I want to take a vacation next month or whatever. But for them, they set up and now they have literally a hierarchy of everybody depending on them to keep it pumping, to keep it going.
It's a lot. And then even like the idea of like the taking a vacation and having only taken 1-2 week vacation in 2 years, not everybody's built for that. You know?
Yeah. The sacrifices that come with deciding that your rest is not a priority in a very stressful industry.
Yeah. What do you think you're doing in terms of balance? Because I feel like when we talk about balance, like I love talking about that. What do you think you're doing for your own personal balance right now?
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaries is my middle name.
Okay.
And I am boundarying like I've never boundaried before.
What does that mean, Danielle?
That literally means that there is no question. I'm also, one thing I pride myself on, and I always say this to Logan as well, leaders make choices. I always choose. We're always choosing.
Yeah.
My boundaries, it's not questionable anymore. I know the choice I need to make and now I'm making it. So it's not even, it's going beyond me understanding what's important and me executing and acting on what's important. It's a no. If it's a no, it's a no. It's not personal. It's not, I'm not mad. It's just no. I'm not gonna explain it. And that has been protecting my peace because there is no balance, right? You know the life I live. My daughter, is with her dad 50% of the time and with me. And so I don't get that time back no matter how I adjust my schedule.
Right.
And in my mind, balance is replacing one thing with another. That's not what I live. I just maximize the time I have. And that requires me to say no and to say yes. And that's how I'm protecting my peace. Because the bottom line is that whether I say no and it's met with pushback or I say yes and it wasn't the right choice, I made the choice. I'm comfortable there.
I love that. No, this lifestyle makeup is like, it was like, what kind of makeup, Delina, are you gonna do? It was like the kind of makeup you would do if you were meeting up with Danielle.
You know this is the Danielle.
This is the Danielle.
I love it. I love it. But you're giving color and shadow. You're gonna give an eye.
So I mean, thank you for coming.
Girl,
this is so
fun.
Yeah, I love talking to you about balance, about life, about everything, because I feel like we have like, I feel a friendship, but also like a soul connection. You know what I mean? Food is a soul connection. Hello? So yeah, just happy that you're here. Thank you so much. You guys, thank you for hanging out with us today.
Thank you guys so much. I wish you could eat this, but
Yeah.
we'll handle it for you. It's fine.
Yeah, for sure. It's already been demolished, but when you come, you can get some fresh food, exactly what we ordered, or something else, because it's all good. Okay. Thanks for hanging out.